Hey everyone, this is my first ever doll custom that I am posting on here. I've only ever done one other one, but we're not going to talk about her. Today I am making Violet Sorrengail from the Empyrean series. I'm absolutely obsessed with this book series, so I've been wanting to make this doll for a long time, and there was a lot of trial and error. It's actually taken me 2 bodies and 3 heads to get to the point that I'm at right now in this doll. The other bodies are still usable, and I'm going to do them for something else, but what I was doing just did not work out, and then I made the mistake of putting acetone on plastic. So obviously that wasn't good, but I digress. I used watercolor pencils, and I'm trying to do this on a budget, so I have gotten watercolor pencils from both Dollar General and Walmart, and I'm kind of irritated to say that the Dollar General ones actually have more pigment. This is just chalk pastels, and I have learned so much from watching Dolliteful and Moonlight Jewel. They're my 2 favorite doll channels. But I've learned that blushing helps bring life into the plastic. But even on video, it's hard to see just how much it really does breathe the life into it. And I'm so happy with the way that it looks. I'm glad that I went and did the blushing. I had to definitely redo a lot of the blushing on the face. And I should have, in retrospect, followed a tutorial. Dolliteful actually has an amazing tutorial for your first face up, which I absolutely should have had on in the background. But I did not. I also tried to go in with some acrylic paints, and I don't think that I thinned them down enough because it's just very, very bold, and I also mess up right here, actually, and a few other times with making the lines way too thick. So I ended up having to acetone some of it off and ended up having to repaint the face because I actually had to paint this entire body and face. It's a Draculaura, and the colors were just not obviously, real skin tones. And this is Violet, so she needed to be pale skin, pale hair, pale eyes. I tried really, really hard to get the green and blue of her eyes. I think it looks rather cartoony still. You'll see that shortly here in a second. But here I was trying to pull the color off of my watercolor pencils with a wet paintbrush. And I definitely need more practice at doing this, but like I said, this is my very first one. You can probably tell by the angles of this horribly shot video as well. But I tried my best to make the eyes even, and also be careful you don't get your paintbrush too wet because then you'll get that globby effect that just happened on the other eye, and you'll have to wait for it to dry for extra long before you start doing the color. And this is why I feel like it looks a little cartoony, because it's just not very natural. And I really did want to do this with just watercolor pencils, but because I had to paint the face every time I tried to draw on just with watercolors, it was chipping off the paint and the Mr. Super Clear. So I realized quickly that I needed to use paint and my paintbrush on the watercolor pencils. But I'm okay with how they look. They kind of look like the earth to me, which doesn't really say Violet, but whatever. So here she is drying from another coat of Mr. Super Clear before I continue. And I know that this is early, but I'm just so excited. I have to put on her little outfit because I'm so proud of it. Of course, it's not done yet, obviously, but we'll see that in a minute. And then here's her little boots. I used a Laguna Blue boots, and I just painted them black and then chromed the buckles. I also made this wig. Obviously, I've got to have the silver braid. And here I'm making the corset. I used some metallic green cardstock on my Cricut and cut out like a billion teeny tiny dragon scales. And then I used Fabri-Tac and one of those little sticks that comes with diamond paintings so I could place the scales correctly. This entire process took about 2.5 hours, but thanks to the magic of editing, you get to see it happen in a matter of like 30 seconds. And now for the final result.
A dragon without its rider is a tragedy. A rider without their dragon is dead. Welcome to the Fourth Wing.
All in all, I had a great time with this project. I love my Violet Sorrengail doll, and I love how she turned out. I'm really, really proud of her. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and until next time, bye!